Hello, everyone. Welcome to UnMuted Love with me, C. Eshelman, where we tackle the real, raw, and revolutionary journey of growing children from difficult beginnings with brain first, love forward parenting. Today, we're talking about something that quietly hijacks even the most devoted parents. It's called blocked care, and we're going to go deeper into the Karpman Drama Triangle. If you haven't heard about that, it's a dynamic that can sneak into our relationships with our kids and really derail connections super fast. I gave 3 trainings to parents and professionals last week on this very topic, and I decided, hey, why deprive you of this information just because you can't see the triangles or the circles and the scribbles I draw when I'm explaining how this all works? Bear with me, though. I will do my best to make this, a graphic and something you can imagine. It's a little difficult in podcast. Okay, this one might require pen and paper. So grab your coffee or tea and take a breath and let's dive right in. And don't worry, I'll also talk about how to step off that drama triangle and into healthier ways of communicating, healthier roles, using the delightfully named empowerment triangle. Okay, so first of all, there have been plenty of episodes on blocked care here, right? I talk about it all the time, but this one has a little twist. Let's start, though, with a quick overview of blocked care in case that language is new to you. Blocked care is not a personal failure. It's a protective shutdown of the caregiving system in your brain, often triggered when parenting feels chronically unrewarding or emotionally threatening because a child has blocked trust from early abandonment or early abuse trauma. You might be in blocked care if you have some of these experiences. You feel numb or resentful of your child. You dread interacting with your child. You think, I just can't take this anymore. I'm done. Or you feel more like you're surviving your child than parenting them. Blocked care happens when your child's trauma-based behaviors like rejection, protection behaviors, lying, shutting down are relentless. Your stress response kicks in and suddenly you're not parenting from love anymore. You're parenting from survival. I've been there. I know what it's like. I feel like most of you do know what it's like at one time or another. Now, here's that twist I was referring to a minute ago. When blocked care kicks in, many of us unknowingly enter what's called the Karpman Drama Triangle. This triangle has been around as long as I've been alive. Okay, no, not 110 years, just 60. It goes like this. Put your visualization cap on and imagine a line drawing of a triangle with 3 points, right? Triangles have 3 points, and on each point of the triangle are roles, 1 role for each point. If you have pen and paper, this might be a good time to draw yourself a triangle and put the 3 roles on each end. 1 point of the triangle has the persecutor, and that might be the top of the triangle on your paper. That persecutor role tends to be controlling, blaming, shaming, name-calling, accusing, or very angry. At one bottom corner is the victim role. Helpless, overwhelmed, powerless, sympathy-seeking, and fearful. And on the other point at the bottom, the rescuer is overhelping, fixing, enabling, being a hero, a savior, but also feeling a little bit superior. This model, created by Dr. Stephen Karpman, shows how people get stuck in toxic relational patterns. And in parenting, these roles can shift so fast. Your situation might find you in one role on one corner, and very quickly you might slide right along to another corner in another role in the very same situation. I'm going to break it down for you, and I'll try not to lose you in this process. I'll call this first scenario homework hell. Let's say you, the parent, are talking to your child and you start on the point of the triangle that's the rescuer. And you say to your child, hey, I'll help you with your homework. And your child quickly pushes back, no, you're going to make it worse. Right in that moment, you feel defeated, which shifts you instantly into the victim role on the triangle. Okay, nothing I do works for you. Then your anger snaps you into the persecutor role with you saying something like, oh, well, you're always so disrespectful. I don't even know why I offer to help. So no one is regulating here and all are reacting to each other. This triangle fuels big chaos in our homes, right? Shame can come up, blow-ups can happen, and always disconnection. Everyone loses. Does that sound familiar? Sure did for me, and not just as a parent. This could happen at any given time in any stressful situation with anyone. I'm going to share some more real life situations with children in a second and see if some of this fits you or others in your family. Okay, here's another scenario. I'll call this one the sibling smackdown. Two siblings fighting over the iPad. You hear the fighting going on in another room. You're already a little bit upset about it, and you storm into the room saying, "Hey, you're always hitting your brother. Stop it." That is a persecutor role on the triangle. One of the children cries out, "No one likes me, and he started it anyway." That's the victim point on the triangle. And then the parent tries to fix it by saying, okay, you can have the iPad. Just stop arguing." And then the other child fumes, "Why does he always get what he wants?" Again, some victim coming up here. The pattern locks in and chaos reigns. There's no solution here. It's just running around the triangle and each person taking different points on the triangle at different times. Can you see how that goes? It's a little complicated to see how it goes without all my scribbles and triangles and circles and arrows, but I think maybe you can follow it. Let's try one more scenario. We'll call this one the morning mayhem. It's the 8 a.m. dance, right? The no shoes on 8 a.m. dance, got to get out the door. It's all breaking loose. So the parent yells, "We're going to be late because you won't put your darn shoes on." That's a persecutor sound, right? A persecutor role. Child yells, "You just hate me. You always hate me and you're always late." The child plays a little bit of victim and then slides a little to persecutor there. The parent kneels down to put the child's shoes on for them while they're muttering a little bit under their own breath. "Okay, great. I can do your life for you. Here, I'll put your shoes on." That's the rescuer role. Child kicks parent in the face. Oh, persecutor right there. And then parent becomes the victim. Ooh, can you see how that slid around? Everybody took different points on the triangle at different times. Resentment builds in this kind of triangle and the nervous system burns out. But what happens if we drop the drama triangle? Now, that's not easy to do, but there is another triangle called the empowerment triangle. Yep, you knew there was going to be another triangle probably. That's why I said bring a pen and paper to this episode, because I'm not sure you could actually follow me without it. The second triangle is called the empowerment triangle. And the empowerment triangle was created by David Emerald, and it actually flips the script. He renames the victim as the creator, and he renames the rescuer as the coach, and the persecutor becomes the challenger. So when the victim becomes the creator is capable of making choices of their own. When the rescuer becomes the coach guides without rescuing. And when the persecutor becomes a challenger, they set limits with love, not anger. So let's rerun those same scenarios and see how it looks when you flip the script. Okay, so here's the homework. Take 2. Mom regulates herself and uses her coach voice. Want to try to first problem solve together? Or do you want to do it on your own? Then adds a challenger tone. You don't have to love it, babe, but it's your job to get it done. The child sneers at mom and begins doing the first problem after she leaves the room. Mom stays regulated with no reaction to the eye rolling and sneering, and she prefers to see the sneering as protest rather than disrespect. In this moment, there's regulation and there's confidence that this is the way to handle a homework situation without being a rescuer, without being a persecutor, and without the child feeling like a victim of it all. And you too, right in the end. So I'm hoping you're following that, but I'm going to give you the drama triangle solution in scenario 2, sibling conflict reimagined, okay? Parent enters the room where the children are struggling with a steady tone of regulation. That means he stopped at the door before he went in and took some deep breaths, calmed himself down, and didn't go into the room until he felt like he was regulated. So parent is regulated and walks into the room as a coach. Looks like something big's happening here, guys. Then as a challenger. In this family, we don't solve problems with hitting. I believe you can tell me what you need. Then the kids begin to talk all at the same time. And dad gently says, "Hold up, guys, hold up. We can hear each other one at a time, not all at the same time. So can you hear? This is just problem solving. No triangle needed." Okay, so let's go back to that morning routine and redo that one. The parent pauses, takes a deep breath, regulates, and then goes to the child as a coach. "Tough morning, huh, babe? Need a hug or some quiet?" And then in a challenger voice, "We still leave in 10 minutes, and I believe you can get those shoes on." Child just sits still, Staring, not moving, not quickly touching the shoes. Nope. Mom leaves the room. Child actually grabs the shoes, muttering, but gets them on and is ready in 10 minutes. That is progress. No triangle required. So, what do you think about that? Do you think that is a useful tool to begin to think about in your own interactions with your children and maybe your partner? Because 3 people can play on this triangle too. Let me give you a quick checklist to help you in the moment. First of all, if something comes out of your mouth, it's important to name the role you're standing on in any given moment. Oh, am I rescuing right here? Am I persecuting? Do I feel like a victim? What's going on with me? Regulate your nervous system. That's step number 2. Take a deep breath. Orient yourself to safety. Tell yourself a mantra that, hey, this isn't an emergency, so I can take time to breathe, or I can go get a glass of water and come back. Number 3 is to reconnect with your own curiosity. I wonder what's underneath this behavior I'm looking at in my child, or this behavior I'm looking at in myself. Reframe the role. Can I coach instead of rescue? Can I challenge with compassion? This is how you shift the energy, rewrite the moment, and restore connection. Okay, I'm not sure how well I did explaining these very real situations and how to step out of them, but I did give it a good try. I know the examples were simplistic and your life feels way more complicated because it is more complicated. It is as hard as it feels, but maybe it's not as complicated as it feels when a new tool is applied that makes it a little more simple. How about you try it and see what happens? You let me know. Send me an email or put a comment in my Facebook page. I'd love to hear from you after listening to the podcast today. Okay, so block care is a real thing, folks. Everybody gets it now and then. Some people get it and get stuck in it. So I want you to really think that there are ways out of it. It doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're human, right? The drama triangle is seductive, especially under stress. But there's a way out, a way to move from disconnection to co-regulation, from burnout to belief in your child or in yourself. You're not alone. You're not broken. You're building something sacred, one triangle escape at a time. Hey, thanks for listening today. If this helps you, share it with a fellow parent on the journey. And remember, you don't have to be perfect, just present. See you next time on Unmuted Love. And remember, your love matters.